At this point, it is no secret that the world is strange. I think we all can see that.
Inter Cetera issued by Pope Alexander VI on May 4th, 1493, played a central role in the Spanish conquest of the New World.
As you all know, or may not know, the Pope had declared he opened 5 sacred portals, doorways, but one news article said that it was portals and the other said it was doors. So you can choose what you want to believe. Either way, though, doors were opened, whether you want to look at that as like an energetic doorway or a physical doorway. Why can't it be both? So to commemorate Jubilee year within Catholicism, the Pope had went through a sacred doorway, sacred portal, one of 5 that will be opened. When you actually do research on the Jubilee year and it being a Roman festival that has been taking place since the birth of Catholicism, you actually see that it's like, okay, no, this is a ritual that they're doing. Just like we discussed in the previous video, like a lot of stuff that we do or that is occurring around us is a ritual. Like the whole origin of the festival stems from the papal bull. The bull stated that any land not inhabited by Christians was available to be discovered, right, claimed, and exploited by Christian rulers, and declared that the Catholic faith and the Christian religion be exalted and be everywhere, increased and spread, the health of souls be cared for, so you say, and that barbarous nations be overthrown and brought to the faith itself. And mind you, they get to declare what's barbaric and not, because these are the same, crusaders who didn't think it was barbaric to slaughter everyone who didn't want to convert. But I guess, you're playing by their rules. You can't point out the inconsistencies and how it's like, that's kind of hypocritical, but I guess. So you see that this is what the festival was commemorating to begin with. The Jubilee ceremony was a ceremony of basically them indoctrinating the world and transitioning the old world to the new world doctrine that we are just now coming up out of, right? And this is going back to the royal family and the royal bloodline. It's all ruled by the same hidden hands, different fingers of the same hand. Fast forwarding to the Jubilee ceremony that occurs every 25 years now. It used to be every 40 years. And they've just kind of slashed it down. They trying to get their timeline rolling because they know that their time is out. So now it's every 25 years. The last one that was held was in 2000. And ironically, from research that I've actually just came across, apparently every time that there's a Jubilee year, there's a major cataclysm that takes place, whether natural or unnatural, as a byproduct. We know that the last Jubilee festival that took place was in the year 2000. We all know what happened in 2001. And even more strangely, and I still have not been able to pinpoint exactly what happened in 2004 with that devastating tsunami that took place as a result of the earthquake out in the Pacific Ocean, like South Asia, Thailand, the Philippines, and all that stuff. That earthquake that caused that tsunami was completely devastating for multiple countries involved. And I still have not been able to pinpoint exactly the reasoning for it. But I do know that it was 3 years after the Jubilee Festival that took place. So stay tuned for a video on that, because I promise y'all there's so much mysteries, especially with the people on that island, the indigenous people, the Sentinelese people, and how they've been uncontacted this whole time. And they're a tribe of people that have maintained their sovereignty from the British ruling, the same people. And they went as far to kill that tourist that was coming. He was a journalist and he was coming to try to convert them to Christianity. Fast forwarding to now, we have these 5 sacred portals or sacred doorways that are set to be opened during this year of Jubilee. The interesting thing about it is it forms the sigil of Lucifer, light bearer, as each entry point or doorway around the Vatican. And the interesting thing about it is, y'all know I say question everything, and that's going to be my mantra for entirety, because that's the only way you get to kind of free yourself from the confines of this prison. We've been indoctrinated to believe that Lucifer in and of itself, right, is the bad guy. Okay, fair enough. But I challenge everyone to just do a little bit more research and a little bit more digging. It's all about intent. The sigil itself does not represent anything inherently evil. It has been demonized because of the indoctrination we have all experienced here in the Western world specifically, but all over the world, right? They have shaped and molded our perception of how we perceive, a lot of the things dealing with, what's hidden. But when you look at the sigil, it is the same sigil that can be seen when you're looking at the interpretation of us perceiving our reality being interpreted by our eyes, and that shaping what we see and what we know to be reality. So the fact that the Pope during this Jubilee year is opening these doorways, I just challenge everyone to think and question, why can't there be both polarities existing at once? Yes, I feel as though personally they are using this as an attempt, as like a last attempt, last resort. They are trying to exercise as many means of maintaining the third density as possible. So if that means that they're having to do that, meaning various rituals utilizing these portals, these entry points, these doorways within the Vatican. Mind you, this is the same Vatican and Roman Empire that has been existing here for centuries now, to maintain the everyday person's perception of their real world to be whatever they want that to be. With the portals, you take that information and do with it as you will, but that's just my opinion. Another thing that is strange and occurring is the mass influx of this drone activity, UFO activity, UAP activity, whatever you want to refer to these aerial, phenomena as. A few years ago, they was calling it a UFO, and they already came out and disclosed around 2020 that there is alien presence. Alien, you call an alien what you want. Like, we've been programmed predictively to perceive an alien to be one type of thing, one type of entity, or maybe a plethora now, especially with like the emergence of TikTok and conspiracy theories and all that stuff. Now that they've changed the wording of the same aerial phenomena, like, it's more widely accepted now. Like, oh, okay, well, there's these UAPs flying around. They're just drones. They're all of this stuff. To be quite fair and quite brutally honest, you nor I know what these things are flying around. The best thing that we can do is understand that there is nothing to worry about. They feed off their fear. They're archonic entities that are unseen, but pulling strings, feeding off of your fear. And the more that you fear things, the more that you are feeding them and empowering them, because fear stems from your ignorance of the truth. There's also been a lot of planes crashing. See, the new year hasn't even started, nowhere close. A lot of people believe that the new year starts in January 1st. That's not the new year. The new year does not start until March 20th. When spring begins, that is when the new year begins. And so we have a few months at the end of this cycle where they're going to be unleashing literal hell on everybody, because they're sore losers and they know that their time is up. See, a lot of people looked at the Pope going through those doors and they was like, oh, he's scared and all of this stuff. And although, yes, I feel as though he was scared and he looked unsettled within his spirit, we don't know what's going through that entity's head. And my personal speculation is unsettled because you know the dirt that you have caused, not him personally. I'm talking about the Roman Empire as a whole, because to me, that is like one of the roots of the BS that like we've all been subjected to. And like, I feel as though a lot of the infiltration of the divine entities on this planet happened through the Roman Empire. Like, that was the vessel. It never went anywhere. It literally just fractured and spread out all around the world. And so when I say the dirt that he's done, let me just say the entities like him, the entities that are using him as a vessel and others like him. They know that the dirt that they've done. And that's why it's also really symbolic that it was like the door of hope and forgiveness. But there is no forgiveness, because see, nature doesn't care about an apology. Like, let's look at it like this. Like, we all have seen Animal Planet clips where, it's a dog eat dog world, right? Like, when the lioness is hungry and she got to go hunt to feed her cubs and she kills another mother zebra, You feel what I'm saying? It's no feelings involved. And that's what I'm trying to convey by me saying that. Like, yeah, you can be as apologetic as you want. But I personally don't get that leniency feeling from this celestial body that we're existing on. So it's kind of like you did your dirt, you do your time. And I'm getting ringing in my ears, 100% confirmation. And see, that's what they don't want. They don't want the melanated beings specifically on this realm to step into an energy of rebellion amongst the masses. They don't want us to step into an energy of not being so forgiving, not being so caring, not being so understanding, because we've been understanding. We've been understanding. We've been coexisting with y'all even after you sat there and treated us like we weren't human, like 4 generations ago. We've been coexisting, but it's not just America's history, his story. It's not just the story that America told us of our ancestors. No, this is on a global level. That's why I'm telling y'all it's a video that's gonna be coming on those indigenous people on that island that go so hard to protect theirs. There's a lot of YT people that are coming out now and expressing like remorse for what has taken place against the melanated being.
I'm grateful to witness the end of a 400-year period of slavery, foretold in the Bible of God's people, the Israelites in this new Egypt. The God in the Bible is black. The God in the
Because Elon Musk said there's a black Jesus, so it takes one of your own to acknowledge, and we're not even going to go into the whole Jesus paradigm because like that's a whole nother video, but it takes one of your own to express to you that there was a period of time where the Christ consciousness or the Christ being, because I won't even say consciousness, like the Christ-like figure that everyone has adopted, that everyone has been praying to this whole time, giving their energy to and all of this stuff, was melanated. Oh my gosh.
The God in the Bible is black.
And that's not even the full story. And that's, you gotta watch these entities, like you gotta watch these Elon Musk, and he's teaming up with Trump and all of this stuff because, see, they're trying to get to you still. They're trying to get you as their ally still. But you gotta protect yourself and you gotta know the enemy when you see him, because this is the same man that said that he's summoning demons through AI. Like, although we are going to be at the height, because that's the thing in 2025, like this new cycle that we're entering, we are going to see a huge spike in technological advances. That's just a part of the times that we're in. But see, I feel as though that's the duality. I don't feel as though it's natural technology. Like for us, natural technology is technology existing amongst this realm. Like you look at crystals, gems, quartz, mushrooms. Hard to explain. Even plants are a form of technology. You feel what I'm saying? But all of that chrome type, this, I don't trust it, and they don't trust it either. And I know this is embarrassing, but I'm gonna let y'all know something real quick before we wrap up this video. That's why you shouldn't trust it. For all the people that conform to religions and all of this stuff, they put it in your face. Symbology is how they communicate, because symbols are able to be translated throughout cultures, time. It is not time or culture specific. They've already told you what this is. And yet and still will be Christians going to bat for this Apple product. And that's why I don't ascribe to religions, because it's literally Looney Tunes. It's Looney Tunes. It's a circus. I don't want to, no, I'm not, that's a whole different video.